Hey, it's Dennis, and today we're going to set up our estimating software for our takeoff. Hey, it's Dennis, and welcome to my channel. Listen, if you are a foreman and you are looking for some training so that you can dominate your field, you came to the right spot. If you're a journeyman and you are aspiring to promote to the foreman position, you came to the right spot. I'm going to teach you everything right here that you need to know to dominate your field. So let's get into this thing. Okay, now I'm going to repeat myself because I've said this before, but this is a good time to say it again. If your company is going to spend the time to put together an estimate of what it's going to cost to build a project, that estimate by default has to become the goal. That's the goal for the entire project, to meet or beat that estimate. So what we're going to do is, as we create our estimate, we're going to chunk it down into pieces that we can schedule and monitor so that we can track that information and make sure that we're succeeding as we go through the project, instead of waiting till the very last day and adding up all the dollars and see if we made any money or not. Okay? It should make sense to everyone that you want milestones and checks and balances that you can make as you progress through that project to make sure that you're tracking to make money and to discover when you're not being profitable, so you can fix those problems and get back on track and build a profitable project. So today is all about setting up the estimate in a fashion that we can use for scheduling as we progress through the project. So let's get started. This will be the first project that I build for this contractor, and this is the schedule they gave me. Now, we're going to do a lot better than this, but there is some useful information in this schedule, and I want to maintain their framework as much as I can so that my final schedule will at least look familiar to them. So let's take a look at their work breakdown structure, which I call a to-do list. If you've watched my free training, you know why I call it a to-do list. So if you haven't watched my free training, go down into the description for this video and sign up for it and watch it. Just understand that work breakdown structure is the industry accepted term for this list, even if it is the wrong terminology. Let's take a look. I found it interesting that although this is the work breakdown structure, it's labeled a task list. It's neither. From my viewpoint, it's a list of phases and tasks. The backbone of our schedule is going to be our phase list. Normally, this will follow the phase of construction that our project will traverse as we work from beginning to end. In a pure sense, phases are just titles for each group of similar tasks contained in the project. So, under each phase title, we'll list all the tasks required to complete that section of the project. I'll also add that a phase of construction might only contain one task, and there's nothing wrong with that. That one task might even have the same name as the phase. For example, the foundation work is being performed by a subcontractor. So I intend to make a phase labeled foundations and a task labeled foundations. Of this list, I'll use these items for phases and these items for tasks. Of course, I'll have to augment the phase and task list to include more phases and more tasks, but let me put that together and I'll show you what it looks like. Here is the framework for my schedule on this project. The phases of construction are listed in purple and the tasks are listed in white. And here's what I want you to understand. I am starting the process of building my construction schedule before I build my estimate. This is a gift to you. In order to build, test, and refine this system of field management, I've made it my business over the last 12 years to work for as many different contractors as possible. Through this process, I have worked on projects well into the millions of dollars, and all of these contractors are searching for this solution. But it's like they're looking for it with a blindfold on in the middle of the night on a night with no moon and no street light. They're completely in the dark. They can't find it because they don't know what it looks like and they don't know what it feels like. So they just stumble around groping in the darkness. When you follow my advice and build a project for them with these methods, I promise you, they are going to kneel down and kiss your ass. So listen to me. This is Electrical Bid Manager by Vision Infosoft. If you've been following along, you know that this is my preferred software. I just recently upgraded my software to the latest version. The copy I had was pretty old, but you see, since I only use this software for scheduling, in other words, I'm not an estimator and I don't use it for estimating, it never really gets out of date for me. The labor portion pretty much remains the same. I want to give you an update because through the process of updating this software, I learned that they offer a monthly subscription and it's very affordable. So if you're serious about pulling your big boy or big girl pants on and really moving to the next level in your career, I suggest you give them a call and sign up. If you do that, please mention my name and the name of my company, Estimateguard. Okay, so to illustrate this, how to set up this software to follow the same framework as the schedule, I'm going to create a test project, and I'll just label it that. And of course, you know, you can fill out all of this stuff in here if you want to. It's not required. It's some good information to have in there on your project if you're really, you know, building a real project. But I'm not going to take the time to do that right now. I'm just going to click OK. And then we can come up here and see that our test project has been opened. So now that we can do our takeoff if we want, I'm just going to go to wire and conduit. Then I'm going to click on site. I just want to get a takeoff page open here. Later on, we'll take a look at how to actually enter material. But to build the structure for our schedule, we want to deal with these sections over here, okay? This is how we segment our project into tasks and phases. So this first section here, labeled section, we'll make that our phase list, and then the breakdown, we'll use the breakdown to create our task list. So I'm just going to open this right here, and I'm going to edit one of these. And I think our first phase of construction was foundations. So I'm going to label this foundation install, and I'm going to make it in capital letters. That kind of helps me to differentiate it from a task, so I know if I see something labeled in capital letters, that's a phase. Something in lowercase would be a task. And I'll click OK. Then we're going to cancel out of here, and we're going to set up our task, which is basically going to be the same name. I explained that earlier. It's done by a subcontractor, And other than just tracking their progress, I'm not really going to be, tracking it like I would a normal task that I have my crews working on. So I'm going to click edit again, and I'll put the same label in here, lowercase, and I'll go ahead and correct my misspelling. Click OK. Now, once I have these two selected here, any material I enter into this project is going to be accountable to these two labels right here. Okay, so you name your task, you name your phase of construction, you select your task in the task list, and then take off the material, and all that material and labor gets attributed to that task code, if you will. And then from there you can use that to schedule out. Now we're going to progress through this software, and we're actually going to build some tasks and do some takeoffs. But right now I just want to show you the framework of setting the software up prior to doing your takeoff so that it mirrors your schedule. So let me close out of here, and I'll open up a project that I already have the complete list of tasks and phases listed in, and we'll take a look at that real quick. Here's the phase list. Now, there's no reason to get overly concerned when you build this list in the estimating software. The software is very forgiving, and you can edit things later if you decide to change things up a bit, but you do want to think deep when you create your phase and task list, just so things flow nice for you during the takeoff process. Here's the task list. Now that I have our schedule framework built in the estimating software, we're ready to begin the takeoff process. I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video we'll resume by beginning our takeoff. But stick with me for a minute so I can address some last minute items. Okay, that's the video for the week. Now, a couple of things real quick. I want you to know that I included a link to Vision Infosoft down in the description in case you want to get in touch with them. Please be sure to mention my name and my company name, Estimateguard, if you speak with them. I'm trying to generate a little bit of interest so that I can get you a discount. Anyone I refer over there. I'm not interested in making any money off of their software when it gets sold to you, because I think it's that important that you have it, that I want to get you the best pricing that I can on it, and I'm not going to accept any type of fee for sending you their direction, okay? The next thing is that I do have a link down below to my free Foreman training class. And if you haven't gone through that, you really should. All of this will make a lot more sense to you. And as I continue on with these videos, it's just going to be really helpful to you to have that foundation of understanding as we go through these other videos that I post here. Once you get through that training, you'll be offered an opportunity to take my advanced foreman training class, and that is where all of this comes together into one tight system, step by step. I'll take you through an entire project, show you exactly how to set it up and how to manage it. So make sure you sign up for that if you haven't already. And please, if you get any value at all from these videos, please hit the like button, share them with your friends so I can capture a larger audience. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any new upcoming videos. And other than that, just thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys very much.